talk to you about a couple of things, how I got started flipping houses. When I retired in the military in 2013, I came back home. And when I came back home to Bartow, Florida, I decided that I didn't want to go and work a 9-to-5 job. All right, I had been in the military for 23 years. I retired out of Hawaii. And when I came back home, I wanted to do something, and I had a plan of becoming a rehabber, remodeling houses inside of Polk County area. All right. I also branched out in different areas in Atlanta, Oak Grove, Kentucky, Hinesville, Georgia, Lakeland, Armadale, and stuff like that. So, long story short is, I bought my first property about 3 years ago. How do I find this property? Well, truth be told, I found it through social media and actually attending meetups. There was a meetup at Florida Southern College that I went to, and the lady had found me on social media and reached out to me and said, hey, I'm gonna be doing something at Florida Southern College, and I know that you attend Florida Southern College. I graduated from Florida Southern College in 2017. So I attended that meetup, and that lady remembered me from attending that event. She had a friend that was looking to get rid of a house because she had to move her mother out of the house. So when she talked to her friend and she said, hey, I'm trying to move my mom out of this house. You know somebody who will buy this house. Bing, the light went off, Radford Homes. So she immediately called me and said, hey, my friend wants to sell this house. The house is in Armadale. Okay, it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. We did a short sale on the house. A short sale is when you owe more on the property than what the property's worth. So I got with a short sale specialist. Her name is Vanessa. I got with a realtor. His name is Daryl. I brought them in on the deal. I found the deal first now, and then I brought them in on the deal to help me with the short sale and, closing the deal out. So they came in alongside me. So I tell you, Harry, I didn't do it by myself. So they came in alongside me. We got the property, we closed on the property, and we immediately started rehabbing. Now, here's what I want to talk to you. When I first started doing this rehab, I had no idea how to really rehab a house, but I stepped out on faith. I had asked a guy to help me to rehab the house, and the best thing he could have did is he didn't help me. He didn't want to come alongside me. He didn't want to have really nothing to do with me. I was asking him how I do this, how I do this, how I do that, and he was giving me the runaround. And then another guy by the name of Dewey, D-U-Y, he's a realtor. All right, you see him on Facebook all the time. I asked him could I take him to lunch. And then I took him to lunch to Ruby Tuesday, and he told me at that lunch meeting, you don't need nobody to help you flip a house. He said, do you have some money? I said, well, yes. He said, okay, you are out there on social media, go ahead, buy the house, and go through the process, and let that be a learning tool. So, number one, I got the house below market value, because I only paid $30,000 for the house because it was a short sale. I put $30,000 into the house. Now today, if I was to buy that same house, it wouldn't cost me $30,000 to rehab it, because I fine-tuned my flipping. I fine-tuned my craft in flipping. And I met new people, and I met better craftsmanship, like my guy Felix. All right? Not to say that the other guys that I first used wasn't as good, but I've gotten better over the deal. And the same thing will happen with you. I got better over the time with flipping the house. And the same thing will happen with you if you ever come into this business. All right? So I got the house, we flipped the house all the way out. So we're into the house for $60,000, all right? We rented the house out for $900 a month, and we still own it to this day. I think it rents for, no, I know it rents for $950 a month. Okay, we first started out, to be exact, it was $895 a month. Today it rents for $950 a month. So we put $60,000 into the house. After about a year, of receiving $895 a month, I cashed out refinance with Mid-Florida Credit Union under Radford Homes, LLC. So let's talk a little bit about that. And that goes up under everybody. A lot of people watch Bigger Pockets or listen to Bigger Pockets podcast. And you can go in, you can buy a house, you can rehab it, you can refinance it, you can rent it out, and then you can repeat the same thing. They call it the BRRRR strategy. So basically, that's what we did on our first flip house. Now, I had bought or acquisitioned other homes, but they were new homes. And you have to put 20% down. If you're an investor, sometimes you have to put down 30%. After a while, you won't have very much money if you keep doing that. So that's when I got into the flip side, where I can buy a house for $30,000, rehab it for $30,000, have $60,000 into it. When Mid-Florida did the cash out refinance, and for those that don't know what a cash out refinance is, if you buy a house and you buy it for $30,000 and you rehab it for $30,000, Mid-Florida will give you 75% of the appraisal value if you're going under an entity, meaning a commercial loan. If you was going under your personal name, if it's in a personal loan, you would have to wait what they call 12-month seasoning. Some people will do it in 6 months, but after 12 months, if it was in your personal name, then you could cash out refinance. But if you have it under a business like Radford Homes LLC, you don't have no grace period. You don't have no seasoning. And when I say seasoning, you cannot cash out refinance that house in the first 12 months. That's why it's imperative that I put it in a entity like Radford Homes LLC so I can cash out refinance. So I cashed out refinance the house that I had $60,000 all in. I cashed out refinance that house for $52,000. All right, and I did that, I could say, about a year later. Did I have to wait a year? I didn't have to wait a year, but I was on to the next flip. And then through my journey, I learned about the cash out refinance. Today, I successfully moved with that strategy. Okay, I also use what you call private money now. Private money is when somebody that knows you and they'll give you money. All right, it's called private money, it's called hard money, it's called peer-to-peer lending, that type of thing. So I use that. So my first deal, I bought it for $30,000. I rehab, meaning the materials and the labor cost $30,000. So I had $60,000 into the deal. Mid-Florida gave me back $52,000. So I had $8,000 into the deal. But I rented it for $895 for 12 months. So I have $0 into the deal. So actually, I'm ahead of the deal because I've had it now a little over 2 years. So that's the one way if you wanted to get into this business and get started. That was my first deal. And that has been paying monthly since the day I bought it. Now, let's speak about this deal. This house what I'm sitting in today is my first, me and my wife, when I say me, my wife, Sabrina Radford, I'm Greg, one half of Radford Homes, LLC. My lovely and beautiful wife, Sabrina. Well, you know the deal. She's the brains and the beauty behind the operation. And today, we're sitting in our first new build house, meaning from the ground up. Now let's talk a little bit about how I went from that first property to the property that I'm sitting in today. What happened between that time? Well, you're gonna have growth, you're gonna have some heartaches, you're gonna have some peaks, you're gonna have some valleys, and you're gonna meet a lot of people along the way. Some people are gonna stay on the wagon, some people are gonna get off. So it's just, it's growing through the business. But standing here today is real instrumental because I grew up here on the west side of Bartow. This is where I'm from. Right? The back door, this sliding door here, goes to Polk Street, and that's the Polk Street Community Center right behind me. And 4 houses down is where I grew up and I lived. Front street was the Polk Street, the back street was the alley. So I get to build inside of my neighborhood. Now, inside of this neighborhood is called the CRA, all right? The Community Redevelopment Agency or area. okay? Now, what's so instrumental about this is I was able to come home from the Army, go through the learning curve, and then come back to the west side. So my focus right now is to build out the west side. We own 8 houses in Bartow. 8 houses in Bartow. It was 9, but we sold one on the east side of Bartow. But getting back to hand, this new building came from a childhood friend of mine named Ben. His dad sold me this house. All right, it was a 1920 bungalow that's next door to this new building I'm sitting in. So we acquisitioned a 1920 bungalow that sat on a parcel, a lot, a piece of land that was 80 feet by 160 feet. Okay, and what do? Well, if you got a piece of land that's 80 feet by 160 feet, you can split that in half and it'll give you 80 by 80 on this parcel and 80 by 80 on this parcel. So my bungalow house, Radford Homes bungalow house that we acquisitioned sits on an 80 by 80 piece of land, and this new build sits on an 80 by 80 piece of land because we split the lot. It cost us $525 to split the lot. And then we went downtown to the city hall and we had to pay what you call impact fees. What is impact fees? Well, I'm glad you asked. When you first get ready to buy a house or build a house, and there hasn't been a previous house on that parcel, that land, that lot, you're gonna have to pay what you call impact fees. You know, you got big trucks driving on the road, they have an impact on the road, the wear and tear, the whole 9 yards. So you have to pay impact fees. And the impact fee for this house sitting here was about exactly $19,365. Okay? So that was the first thing that we had to do when we bought this house. Now, mind you, buying the bungalow house below market value gave us a little wiggle room, okay, to maneuver, right? And all the other fruits and labor that we had put in from that first house to this house give us a nice amount of cash flow monthly. That's truly why we invest, is for the cash flow. Sometimes we may sell a house here and there, all right? We may sell off one, but mostly we're gonna keep them and hold them, and then, like the Bible says, a good man leaves something to his children's children. So I'm trying to make sure that I leave some real estate that cash flow and is paid off to my children's children, okay? My mother, Major League Board, she never owned a house. You know, if she was here today, you can guarantee she would have a house because I would build one for her. All right, but I'm in a position now to come back on the west side and build new homes. Now let's get to the point at hand. This new home that I'm sitting in, we went downtown to the city hall and we put in proposals. My builder name is Joey Manning. He's Manning the Master Builder. I salute him because he was instrumental in this whole process. There's no way I could have did this without Joey Manning leading the way. And also my main guy, Felix, and the whole team. All right, you got John Atkins who did the drywall. You got other guys that was here that was instrumental, the whole 9 yards. But what I'm telling you here today is, this house that I'm sitting in, we were able to write a proposal and the city of Bartow is gonna give $15,000 down payment assistance. Meaning you don't have to bring no money down. You know, $15,000 should be all you need to acquisition, purchase, to move into this house. Because they're gonna give $15,000. Thank you to the city of Bartow for doing that. All right, now that circumvents my impact fee. Because, you know, I paid $19,650 for impact fee, give or take. All right, let's just say 20 grand. 20 grand for impact fee. They're giving back $15,000 down payment assistance. Now that down payment assistance goes to the buyer that moves into the house. Not only will you receive $15,000, we're gonna pay the closing costs. All right, check it out. When you sell a house, I'm gonna have my closing costs because I'm the seller. But then you're the buyer, you're gonna have your closing costs. We're gonna take your closing costs and pay it. We're gonna also pay my closing costs. That's a totality is another about $15,000. So if you look at the whole scope of things, that's over $30,000 that we're getting. Then Joey Manning with Roos Lending is going to be working with anyone who comes in to acquisition to buy this house to move in. He's going to be doing the mortgage on the house. So if you want to get approved for this house and take advantage of what we are putting out there on the west side of Bartow, it behooves you to go to www.rooslending.com and type in there Radford Homes and fill out an application, because this house should be ready in August. So on August the 1st, whether we are punched out or not, on August the 1st, that's on a Saturday, we're going to have a grand open house, a ribbon cutting, and we're going to celebrate my wife, Sabrina Radford, who's been instrumental over this whole thing and who is the majority owner of Radford Homes LLC. Make no mistake about it, it's her business. All right, my retirement from the military takes care of me, and now we're doing something to take care of my wife. Well, I'm putting things in play to where my wife is taken care of, who will be retiring pretty soon, hopefully, God willing. We're going to be having an open house here on August the 1st. Please come through and attend. All right, if you're from Bartow, no matter if you're not from Bartow, come through about 1 o'clock on August the 1st on a Saturday, a little over a month now. Come through here. We got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1960, 1,960 square feet home. That, like I said, once again, we got $15,000 down payment assistance. I'm going to pay my closing costs. I'm going to pay your closing costs. And then Roos Lending is also going to provide some benefits on the mortgage side of the house if you use our preferred lender. All right? Pricing will be coming out pretty soon. We have a landing page that I'm using on Zillow. All right? It's not the correct address, but we have a landing page until we go live with the address for this house. But you can see it on the link that's going to be below in the comments. You can see the house as we're going through it step by step. I'm updating the pictures as we go through it. We recently put in the floors. You can see the cabinets behind me. They're in now. It's just a great moment. We're happy about what we're able to do in our community where we grew up at, right here on the west side of Bartow. Once again, I'm Greg, and I'm one half of Radford Homes LLC. My lovely and beautiful wife, Sabrina, well, she's the brains and the beauty behind the operation. Make no mistake about it. All right, and if you decide that you want to get into flipping houses or learn how to make passive income, all right, with housing and flipping houses, please attend one of my open houses. That's where we started. Or just give me a call direct at 931-241-9714. This house right here is available with the down payment assistance that's going to be given to the buyer of this house. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call. But the first move you need to do is go to Roos Lending, fill out the application, and let us see where you are. And then the mortgage broker or the mortgage person there will get back with you. And we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you a little bit